Hello and welcome to Photography with Imre, and that would be me. And on today's episode, we're doing the first of a multi-part series about these things. That's right, flashes. So today we're starting out with an introduction as well as what the guide number is. Let's get started. Let's start off by running through some of the common types of flashes that are available. It's very likely that you've already seen the built-in flash. These are usually sufficient for your average snapshots at fairly close distances, usually no more than about 5 meters or so. Next up are the external hot shoe mounted flash units, also known as flash guns and even cobra flashes. This variety is generally much more powerful than the built-in kind, and depending on the model, some allow for the head to be swiveled and the angle to be changed for bounce flash use. This type of flash is the one I'll be using the most throughout this flash miniseries. Hammerhead flashes like this old Hanimex Pro 550 are similar to their hot shoe cousins, except that some models can be even more powerful. Also, they usually come on a mount like this one, which puts the flash head off to the side a little, which some photographers prefer as the shadows are cast off to the side versus head on. Lastly, hammerheads are usually attached to the camera via a PC or Prontor Compor cable rather than attached to the hot shoe. But wait, there's more. The flash I'm holding here is the studio variety. For photographers who really need lots of light and some conveniences, such as being able to attach umbrellas, softboxes, or like the addition of a modeling light, this is the way to go. Continuing on, slave flashes are those that are triggered by another flash thanks to a photoelectric sensor on these little units. Since slave flashes usually aren't attached to anything, they tend to be very portable and can be easily set up to supplement the master flash in some creative ways, such as adding fill light to a scene or even backlight for a model shoot. And speaking of models, ring flashes can provide a unique even light. They're also commonly used for macro photography. Now, there are even a few more flash types out there, but I've saved those for my blog. The next topic on the agenda is a flash guide number, which is a measure of the light output for a flash at a particular film or sensor sensitivity. Flashes with a large guide number are capable of producing more light output. So in other words, flashes with bigger guide numbers are more powerful, so you can illuminate subjects at greater distances. Here's a simple formula for calculating the guide number. Guide number equals the f-stop multiplied by the distance from the flash to the subject. Here are a few important things to note before moving on. First, the distance is always measured from the flash to the subject, not the camera to the subject. Second, most manufacturers use ISO 100 when they provide a flash guide's number. Third, be sure you know the units used to calculate distances. Some manufacturers use feet, others meters. Now let's look at two more formulas that are handy to keep in mind. If you want to calculate the flash to subject distance your flash is capable of doing at a specific f-stop, then use this formula. The guide number divided by the f-stop will equal the distance from the flash to your subject. So if your flash's guide number is 50 and you'd like to use an aperture of f8, then the distance from your flash to your subject cannot be greater than 6.25 meters. This next formula here will provide what f-stop you should be using depending on the distance factor. Simply divide the guide number by the distance from the flash to your subject. Let's use 50 again as the guide number and a distance of 6.25 meters, which gives us an f-stop of 8. I deliberately use the same number so you can see how elegantly the formulas behave. But as usual, things can get a little more complicated. The examples I gave assumed a sensitivity of 100 ISO and the flash set to maximum power. But if you're using a different ISO and different power settings for the flash, then you need to compensate accordingly. Luckily, however, the majority of cameras and electronic flashes today can do all this math for us based on exposure readings the TTL, or through the lens metering system, calculates in a camera. So all we pretty much have to do is point and shoot. But if you're still itching for more info, do check out my blog as I have some links to websites further on this topic. And yes, I deliberately left out studio flashes as they're best saved for a future episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode, and next time we're going to be looking at what the flash sync speed is, and that should be pretty interesting. But anyway, if you want to find out more, as usual, I always write in my blog a little bit of extra stuff, and I got lots of links this time. And don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Facebook. You can become a fan there. So I certainly hope to see you next time. Take care.